And we're back live in Studio One on TV. Now we're talking to Sonny Spina this morning because Sonny's been busy on Facebook. I have to tell you, I love this. We want to tell you, first of all, exactly what's going on. I think we've all heard of these scams, right?
Yeah,
so explain this one in particular.
So these kinds of things have been going on for a while. We know that residents, not only in our community, but in communities across Ontario, get these types of calls, and it's typically we refer to it as the CRA or the Canada Revenue Agency scam, where this fake agent from the Canada Revenue Agency is calling you, telling you that they've reviewed your file and you owe thousands of dollars in back taxes.
And scare.
You know what, they really do scare some individuals, and they tell them, you know, if you don't pay me now, you're going to jail. We have the police coming, you're going to jail, and that's just not true.
And what happened was Sonny got one of those calls and actually recorded it. So we're going to take a listen to exactly what it sounds like, just so that sometimes it helps to actually hear of the voice of the person who is conducting the scam, because then you sort of have a little more confidence in that, you know what, I'm not sure about this, and it's okay to ask, and it's okay to say I'm not sure. So take a listen to what Sonny had to say here.
The reason behind this call is that we have done a random audit on your tax filing of the last 2 years, and we found there was several miscalculation in your tax filing, because of which CRA is filing a case under your name. So do you have a lawyer who can represent in the court for this case?
I need a lawyer for this?
Yes.
There's not a way that we can resolve it?
So do you even realize that right now the local RCMP having a arrest warrant under your name?
I did not know that, no.
That means you are not aware about this case?
Sorry?
It means you are not aware about this case.
No, I'm not, no.
So do you want me to go ahead and read out the affidavit which you can come to know everything about the case?
Yes, please, please. I don't know what's going on here, so yes, please tell me.
Please. Okay, please grab the pen and paper, write down my name and badge number.
Okay, I actually have one here.
You have it?
So I'm just getting paper ready.
Sorry?
Okay, yeah, I have the paper, go ahead.
My name is Officer Sammy Hall.
You know what I have to say, Sonny, you played that role perfectly. You sounded scared, you sounded rattled. They are aggressive.
Oh, they're, you know, and we get a lot of these complaints that come in, and what happens is it's always after the fact. So we're often asking victims or individuals who have received these calls, what did they say? And people are so afraid, and in the moment, you're not really thinking I have to remember all of these things. So it was really beneficial. I've actually been waiting for one of these calls for a while, unlike most people in the world, because I wanted to record it so that I could show people exactly what these scammers are saying. And if you do have a chance to listen to the whole video, you'll see that they actually hang up with me at one point and then call me back as the RCMP officer.
No.
Yeah, so it's really elaborate, really elaborate, and I thought it was really important for people to be able to hear all of the tactics that they use so that we can really help to educate folks in our community.
And I think the tactics are so mind-blowing. Like I said, like just in hearing it, I mean, you know what, I'm a journalist, I hear about the scams all the time, I've never had anyone call me, but to actually hear and how aggressive they are, and there's a language issue there.
Yeah, it was very clear to me that they were saying, you know, you either pay this money or you're going to jail right now. I think at one point they gave me 45 minutes to complete the transaction where I was going to give them money. And in fact, if you look at the video that I posted, you'll see in there one of the codes that they actually texted me. They texted me a QR code to scan into the bit machine. So it was actually
Really?
very elaborate, yeah.
What a shame these people don't take enough time to, you know, find honest work.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, you know, they're pretty innovative. So, and the one thing I really want people to know is the Canadian government will never text you a QR code to pay your taxes. They'll never ask you to pay your taxes in iTunes gift cards. They'll never ask you to pay your taxes at a secret location and not tell anybody that you're actually paying your taxes. So when you hear these things, these are all red flags that should let you know that, hey, I should probably call somebody.
Now, if a senior or someone who has never received a robocall or a scam call like this, you said, reach out for some help. Can we call police?
Yeah.
Can I hang up? Is it okay to say I'm
Absolutely.
not talking to you and just hang up?
Absolutely, and I tell people this often, like a lot of the time. So whenever you have a caller who's telling you you can't hang up the phone, and if you listen to the call, he's told me many times, don't hang up the phone, don't put me on mute. Anytime you have someone that says that, it should be a red flag. If for whatever reason you were actually speaking to Canada Revenue Agency and your call got disconnected for some reason, you can always call them back. You can always find that information, right? Anybody who's telling you you can't call us back, well, there's something wrong there.
And if you owe them money, they'll call you back.
Well, they'll find you. Yeah,
right? Chances are they're going to find you. So
Yeah.
if there's any kind of a doubt, I think it's important for people to understand that you're in your own home.
Yeah.
This is your home. This is your refuge. You do not have to do anything that's uncomfortable for you. Did he actually give you a number of how much money he owed you?
Yeah, it was actually funny. He gave me an exact number, which was $7,800 and something, but he just rounded up and said, you know what, just do 8,000. It's just pretty much 8,000. So just do 8,000. And the government's not going to do that. And the police certainly do not go out to collect taxes for the federal government. So, it's I want to make that message very, very clear. We're not coming to your door to arrest you for this.
Now, if there is ever a problem with Canada Revenue, how would they approach us? Through the mail? How would that work?
Yeah, you're going to get letters in the mail. You may get phone calls, but you can always call back to verify information, right? They're not going to ask you. And if you listen to this call, I made up a fake name and a fake address and all this, and they said, oh, yeah, we see we have the arrest warrant in your name here. Well, no, you don't. The Canada Revenue Agency does not have arrest warrants, so it's pretty clear.
And it's all based on fear and lack of education.
Fear, lack of education, and manipulation, and they're preying on the most vulnerable people in our society. And if you listen to the call, it almost sounds like a very busy, active call center in the background. So you can hear the volume of calls they're making at the same time. So to them, I'm sure they don't really care about people who don't fall for the scam, because maybe they make 10 or 15 or 20 calls and one person gets taken for some money. So it's just sheer volume. You can hear how many calls they're making at the same time.
So is there anything that you can, as police officers, do? As soon as I call you, I hang up with this person and I call you right away. What kind of laws are available for you to work with?
Well, the unfortunate reality is that sometimes, or most of the time, if an individual has given money to these agencies, more often than not, we can't get that money back for you. So if you've purchased iTunes gift cards, if you've gone to a Bitcoin machine, we can't get that money back for you. It's almost impossible. It's very, very difficult, and it's gone once it's sent. And most of these people aren't even anywhere local, so they're using different methods to mask the phone numbers where they're coming from, so it's almost impossible to find them. The best thing is actually to hang up the phone, don't even have any dealings with them. The only way these individuals are going to stop doing this is if people actually stop falling for these scams.
And a lot of people wonder, how do they get my number? Is it just a random
It's just
thing?
random, yeah, it's just random. They're calling every combination out there that they can find.
Now, you might be wondering how the call ended, because I certainly was. And Sonny was kind enough to provide us the tape as he took control and ended this phone call. Listen.
What the RCMP said?
Sorry?
Did the RCMP say it's safe here? Like it's safe for me to go in with that money?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Can I ask you one more question?
Yeah, sure.
How does it feel that you've been talking to a police officer for the last 45 minutes and you didn't even know it? Yeah, I just recorded everything that you've said to me for the past hour. This is Constable Spina with the Sault Ste. Marie Police Service.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that would be great, sir.
Yeah.
Nice talking to you then.
Yeah, no. So, guess what? You're the one that's breaking the law, and you're defrauding people of thousands of dollars. So there is no arrest warrant for me, but there'll be an arrest warrant for you. How about that?
Then how can I help you, sir?
You can help me by stopping making these phone calls to innocent people and trying to take money from them. People work hard for their money, and you defraud them of it by making these phone calls and having them run all over the city trying to find places to send you money illegally.
Unbelievable. Did you hear the tone change? Just flabbergasted.
Yeah, it was, it had been about 45 minutes, and if you listen to the call that's posted online, it's about 30 minutes. I've taken out some of the dead air time where I actually did drive to some of these locations that they were sending me to, because I wanted to get a feel for what people are actually going through.
You actually drove to the different...
I did actually drive to all the
good for
different
you.
locations. Yeah, I wanted to get a feel for what people were going through so that I could help educate people in the best way that I could, and the best way to do that is through experience. So I actually did all the things that they were telling me to do, and I went to the places that they told me to go. So yeah, if you listen to the change of tone when, and I think his comment when I introduced myself was, "Oh, really?" And, and I thought that was one of the best comments of the entire conversation.
What else could you say? Right?
Yeah.
Well, have a nice day.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for that. Yeah, absolutely. And what can I do for you, sir?
Yeah.
I
What
thought your
can I do?
response to that
Oh.
was priceless. You could stop defrauding people of all
Yeah.
their hard-earned money.
Yeah.
You know what I have to say, above and beyond the call of duty here, sir. Thank you so
was-
much for this.
that was
This
one
is
of the-
such a good educational tool.
It was one of the more fun things that I got to do in my
Yes.
job. So it was great. Actually, I really enjoyed doing that so that I could educate people. So it was really worthwhile.
So if there's ever a chance where you are concerned, if you are not clear, hang up the phone, call the police.
Absolutely, absolutely. Every time. One thing I want to make very, very clear to people: you can always call someone for advice. You can call a loved one. You can call the police. These people are telling you you can't tell anyone, or else we're going to go to the media and we're going to put your name in the media. That none of that is true. You can always call for advice. You can always call us for help and let us ask us if you're going in the right direction. We'll help you with it.
You know what? If it ever happens to me, I'm calling Sonny. Thanks, Sonny.
Thank you very much.
Good
I
job on
appreciate it.
this.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
your time. We'll be back with more news right after this.